Hello, and welcome to another episode of Movies and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Marcus.
And this is the review show that reviews genre movies from the beginning sometimes, but we're still... Really
What's
just going
up?
to interrupt my whole fucking intro right there?
Yeah, what? Oh, man, I miss doing that to you.
Right in the middle of my spiel, you just go and interrupt the whole goddamn thing.
What was the spiel? What's the spiel? Go on. You got this.
No, you ruined it now. You do it.
And this is episode 4 of TJ. No, God, we're only 3.
It's only the third.
Episode 3 of TJ's theme month.
Yeah, of dark fantasy. And today we are covering the 1985 release. Would it be release? Yeah, 1985 release of Return to Oz. It was directed by Walter Murch. I think that's how you say that name. Screenplay by Walter Murch and Gil Dennis. It was produced by Paul Maslansky. I guess that's how you say that. All right, there's like 1,000 cast people, so buckle in. And all right, so the live action cast was Fairuza Balk. I think that's how you say that name. Nicole Williamson, Jean Marsh, Sophie Ward, Fiona Victory, Piper Laurie, Matt Clark, Emma Ridley, Justin Case, Ponsmar, Bruce Boa, Tansy, who was a dog, so.
As Toto.
Yes. So. And then there's John Alexander, Rachel Ashton, Robbie Barnett, Alyssa Burke, Peter Elliott, Roger Innes. I don't know if that's Michelle Hine, or Mikkel Hine. Whatever. Mark Hoppins, Colin Skeepin, Kevin Stevens, Philip Tan, Rob Thurtle. Now, because this has got other elements to it, but there's a voice cast to it as well. It was Denise Breyer, Sean Barrett, Brian Henson, Lyle Conway, Pons Mar, and Beatrice Merck. And there were also puppeteers, who were Mark Wilson, Timothy D., Michael Sundin, Brian Henson, Stuart Larange, Lyle Conway, Deep Roy, and John Alexander. All right. The movie is...
Brian Henson. That's the son of Jim Henson.
Well, yeah, anything with puppets in that time had to have a Henson in it, so...
I would figure, yeah, but... Yeah, pretty cool. If you don't know who Jim Henson is, Google him. You uncultured swine.
To this day, people, I still think know who Jim Henson is.
Yeah, but, new generation who weren't brought up on that kind of shit.
I guess. The movie is an hour 53.
It's an hour 53?
Yes.
No wonder I was so bored. Jesus. The one I watched was an hour 49.
Well, what's it, 49?
Over 113 minutes equates to, minutes-wise.
Maybe I just looked up the wrong thing. You're right, it's an hour 49.
Yes, I know what I'm talking about.
For some reason, I have an hour 51.
What'd you watch it as on?
Hour 53. I have...
I'm going to do that better for a video. So, TJ, what'd you watch the movie on?
Oh, shut up. I have...
Sounds more professional that way.
DVD, Disney DVD.
A DVD by Disney? How outdated and retro was that?
Yeah, I don't know which version this is, too, because apparently I'm just diving into the behind-the-scenes of this real quick.
Well, since you asked, I watched on Disney+.
I didn't ask. I just assumed. But apparently this wasn't released very worldwide at first. So
yeah, it was the U.S. first, then London.
They released it on VHS, Betamax, Laserdisc, and Laserdisc in the 90s, and then a different company named Anchor Bay obtained the video rights and distributed a bunch of DVD and VHSs. But and the original releases, all releases went out of print shortly after their release for some reason.
That's interesting, honestly. I don't know why they would do something like that.
Yeah, and it looks like the one that I got to 2004 Disney release of it. Yeah, okay. So I got, I guess, the more common one.
Nice.
But yeah, that's what I watched it on. Let's see. It had a $28 million budget and only made $11 million in the U.S. I don't know what it made worldwide.
Neither did I, but since we're talking about box office, you want to know where that lands it, TJ?
Sure.
It lands it in the top 70.
Mm-hmm. It's about where we've been averaging, so.
Yeah, weirdly. So at number 80, because we're going to do this shit now, 80's After Hours. Never heard of it. Number 79, Moving Violations. Number 78, The Purple Rose of Cairo. Number 77, Missing in Action 2, The Beginning. Number 76, Gotcha. Number 75, Crush Grove. Groove? That's Groove. I can't read. At number 74 is Return of Oz. God. At number 73, Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, the 1985 re-release. At number 72, Just One of the Guys. At number 71, one of my favorite movies, Life Force. And number 70, Enemy Mine.
I heard of maybe 2 of those movies.
I heard of 1, 2, I think 2 of those as well, including Star Wars, so yeah. At the top 2, I guess, top three, number 3 was Rambo First Blood Part 2. Number 2 was Back to the Future. Number 1 was a movie called Out of Africa. Rocky 4 also came out that year, number 4. Sorry.
Did we not do 1985 box office? No, I guess we did.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't see any, not Star Wars, any,
We'll do the top 10 then.
what the fuck, superhero movies, that's the word. Okay, top 10. Number 10, Spies Like Us. Love that
No
movie.
idea.
You never saw that movie?
No, I never even heard of it.
Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase.
No.
They played, so good. It's so fun. At number 9, The Goonies.
No. That's obvious classic.
Yeah. Number 8, Witness. I don't think I've heard of that one.
I don't think it's that one. I'm thinking of the one where
I heard this
they
one.
hide someone in the Amish.
That's the one, yeah. When a
that the
young
one?
Amish
Wow.
boy is sole witness to a murder while visiting Philadelphia with his mother, police detective John Book tries to protect the boy until an attempt on Book's life forces him to be hiding in the Amish country. I have heard of this movie.
I thought that was an early 90s movie, not a 1985 movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. I should know. I'm not going to look into that, but I heard of that movie. At number 7, The Jewel of the Nile.
No idea.
Wow. You madman. Number 6 is Cocoon. Cocoon.
I've heard of it. I've actually never seen it.
How do you say that word?
What, cocoon?
Yeah.
Cocoon.
Say it slower.
Cocoon.
Cocoon?
Well, cocoon, but,
Cocoon, yeah. Cocoon. There's no O's. There's no A's in that word.
Yeah,
Saying it wrong. I've been saying it wrong all my life. I say cocoon. Cocoon. Cocoon.
It's cocoon, yeah.
Cocoon. Sorry. Cocoon. At number 5, The Color Purple.
Heard of it, never saw it.
Same. Number 4, Rocky 4. Never saw it. At number...
It's a fun, bad movie.
Now, to be fair, I haven't seen any of the Rockies besides the Creed movie. But
the Rocky 1 and 2 are more serious. Like, you've seen parts of the original Rocky.
Yeah.
Like, they're more serious, like, more dramatic and stuff like that, boxing things. But Rocky 3 and 4 are a little more goofy.
well, if I know one of them, he fights...
Mr. T and Hulk Hogan, yes.
I think the Mr. T one, is that the one he's like a street fighter?
No, that's the Rocky 5.
Rocky 5. And when did
Rocky 4
Sylvester Stallone become he became like the directors of them, or was he always the main guy in them? Not acting wise, but like behind the scenes.
I want to say Rocky 3 started.
That's why I thought.
Well, I'm not positive. Rocky 4 is where he fights the Russian.
That's 4?
Yeah, that is what's Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, I thought it was earlier in their career.
No, that was 4.
At number 3, Rambo First Blood Part 2, like I said earlier. Number 2 was Back to the Future. And number 1, Out of Africa.
I don't know.
I'll tell you that these top ones they grossed, looks like worldwide at least, $200+ million.
I don't know what Out of Africa is.
Let's click on it. Let's see what this says. In 20th century colonial Kenya, a Danish, God, that sounds terribly boring, a Danish baroness and plantation owner has a passionate love affair with free-spirited big game hunter.
And that beat the original Back to the Future?
That's what I was thinking. It's like how...
It beat the original Back to the Future?
It beat the original Back to the Future by $3 million.
No, that's kind of acceptable, because Back to the Future was a new franchise and a new movie, so...
Yeah, but it's Back to the Future, though.
Yeah, but it's Back to the Future to us now, but in 1985, it was, what's this new movie out here?
Compare it to Out of Africa... Who stars in this movie? Meryl Streep. A little known actress is Meryl Streep. Robert Redford, whoever that is.
Robert Redford's a big old.
I know. I'm messing with you. Klaus Maria Brandier. I don't know who that is. Michael Kitchen. Some other people.
That was a time where big dramatic romantic movies were still really popular and stuff, so
I want to argue that, but you're not wrong. I mean, you say that, but when look at the top 5, 2 of the 5 are those kind of movies. You have 2 franchise movies with Rambo and Rocky, and then Back to the Future, which is a franchise movie later.
This is also, if you notice, 2 of those movies are Sylvester Stallone. So it's right in the peak of his career. So, of course, those movies are going to be up there. I don't think it's so much franchise. What was the 5th one?
The Color Purple. Steven Spielberg,
I don't even know
Oprah Winfrey. It's a slave movie.
Okay. So, like I said, dramatic movie. So
Another fucking Black struggle in the South movie in that.
Because that was big at around that time too. Still
Oh yeah.
overlapping from the late 70s.
Yes. Let's see this other franchise, like number 11, Police Academy 2. You had Fletch, A View to Kill, number 13. Number 13, wow, what number of Bond movies is that one?
Which one is it?
A View to a Kill.
Oh, View to Kill?
Yeah.
1985? I want to say that's still Roger Moore, probably his last movie. So I want to say, because Sean Connery had 6 and Moore had like N. So around, I want to say between 15 and 17.
That's a lot. I mean, that makes sense, I guess.
That's my best guess, because it could be A View to Kill, because I don't remember when Timothy Dalton took over, because Timothy Dalton only did 2 movies, but it was in the 80s. I don't know if it was 85 and 89 or if it was later.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's all foreign to me, sadly. What else is up here? Number 16 is The Breakfast Club. Pee-wee's Big Adventure at number 19. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. 24. 2 may enter, 1 may leave. Commando came out that year. Teen Wolf as well. Yep, going down this rabbit hole. Fright Night. Oh, so good. The Last Dragon. Weird Science. I thought we've done this before. A few of these movies, Porky's Revenge, don't care about.
You probably remember from doing sequels or something to these movies.
Yeah, I'm trying to go down and see Kiss of the Spider Woman. Heard of that? Is that a comic book movie? No, okay. Wow. A gay man and a political prisoner are together in a prison. This is the title, this is the narrative. The gay man narrates the stories of 2 fake movies of his own life. That sounds weird. That sounds really weird.
Well, it's the 14th James Bond movie, by the way. And I was right, it was the last Roger Moore movie.
14th. But yeah, that's the box office.
All right.
Of 1985. I'm just trying to see what else came out that year. Return of the Living Dead. Why we would talk about this.
What are we talking about? What? I don't know what you're talking about. What?
I'm trying to think of what came out in 1985 that we weren't just talking about this box office before.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about it. Anything in 19... when did Aliens come out?
It would have been up there. It would have easily been up there. That's not if you go all the way down to the bottom. See,
because it would be something it would have been one of the movies I picked, because you picked all crap.
Mm-hmm. You're like you picked sunshiny movies this fucking session.
Hey, I liked Willow.
It was okay. It was an okay turd.
I liked Willow, and I really like this one, despite your obvious misgivings about it. Huh?
Of course you like this one.
This is a good one.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's better than the last one we reviewed.
Oh, well, that's not a high bar to fix.
Exactly.
It's like, no, that one's better than Mandy. It's not really
I think
hard.
Mandy. I'd rather watch, between Mandy and this movie we're about to get into, I would rather watch Mandy.
You're fucking insulting it. You're just being stupid now.
No, because they're both slow, boring movies, and visually they kind of have things going for them. But there's blood in Mandy, so I'd rather watch some blood shit in Mandy than this. I don't know. Mandy was pretty bad too. But I don't know.
No.
I'd rather do nothing than watch these movies.
And this movie is not a bad movie. It's not even close to a bad movie.
We'll talk about it. Now, to be fair to the movie, I zoned out a lot in this movie. I took a nap halfway through, woke up, like, what did I miss? I don't care. I'm not going back. It's so boring. It's going to be so boring.
It's a little slow, I'll give you that. But it's a kid's movie, definitely. I forgot how kiddie it was, too. I forgot how much of a kid's movie it actually was, despite the clearly not kid-friendly imagery in this movie.
Yes.
So, I guess before we dive into the movie, we should dive into the behind the scenes of it.
Yeah, go for it.
So, this movie is based on the second and third books of the Oz books, and they're actually closer to the source material than the original Wizard of Oz, because obviously the original Wizard of Oz really deviated from the original books. I can't tell you a lot about it because I haven't read those books in a very long time.
Oh, you didn't read it for the movie?
No, I didn't reread the books. I had already read them years ago. But it is close to the source material. There's a lot of stuff from the books that was in it. Like the lore they talk about in the beginning of the movie where Dorothy's explaining things that happened was taken straight from the book.
Oh, of course.
And stuff like that. Whereas, the original Wizard of Oz took the darker tones of the books and really scaled it down to kid friendly. This one kind of went back and went right into it.
Which I did honestly enjoy.
So apparently Christopher Lloyd was considered for the Gnome King, which was interesting.
That was really cool.
There's a lot of behind the scenes about using the animals. Like they used 40 real chickens to play the different parts of the chickens. Each had a different role. Like they had different cages labeled. This one perches, this one sits, this one runs and stuff for some reason. They also had a mechanical chicken that looked so real that the cast had a hard time telling them apart.
Well, I guess you can only train a chicken so much to do one thing, I guess, and the mechanical thing's pretty cool.
The dog was apparently a pet of the director.
Okay.
For some reason, they went into how many hours the child actors could work. I don't know why that's in here. Everyone knows child labor laws, but they made it. They went on to tell us that the main actress could only work for like no more than 3.5 hours a day between 9:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. and needed a tutor during so she could still school and stuff. But I kind of figured that was standard practice issues.
It is. It honestly is. Nothing new.
So I don't know why that's in here, but okay. The only really interesting thing was they actually fired the director at one point.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't like the way it was turning out. But then, who was it who stepped in? There was, I know one of the names. I just need to figure out who the other guy was real quick.
Francis Ford Coppola?
Francis Ford Coppola and George Lucas. Both were like, they really were like, this guy's okay, you know. And if it doesn't work out, George Lucas said he would step in and finish the movie if it doesn't work out with the director they used. And he came back and actually finished the movie, the original director. So
I'm kind of glad he had the Herbert Murch had the backing of those two. I'm glad no one else stepped in.
Yeah, it would have been a even more. This movie, whether you like it or hate it, is cohesive.
Yes, very cohesive. So I think having any movie that does that when it has two directors doing its thing, it just really bogs down the movie and makes it very, I don't know, fucking weird and bad.
The main actress, the kid actress, Bulk, apparently did all her own stunts.
She plays Becky, I think, in Waterboy. So heads up.
She's also in the movie The Craft.
Yes, Craft. She's in Almost Famous. She's on a lot of American History X.
There's actually an introduction.
Vicky in Waterboy. Sorry, what's up?
She's actually introduces this movie on my DVD, and when I saw her, I was like, I know that actress. Wait, well, that's her?
Yeah, I saw her as a kid. Like, this shit looks really familiar. Who is this? Like, oh shit.
Yeah. So, she did all her own stunts except for the river part. For like obvious reasons.
It's a river part in this movie?
Yeah, in the beginning, how she gets to Oz.
Oh, yeah, she would have died. They would have killed the kids. So she would have done that. Yeah.
So that river looked like it was dangerous.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god. How did they film that?
Also, so MGM had nothing to do with this. They had parts to do with I think they made the original Wizard of Oz.
I believe so.
But so the books actually went into what's public domain. Mm-hmm. So anyone could use the rights to it. But the Ruby Slippers was an MGM creation because in the books it's Silver Slippers, and that doesn't really translate that well on screen. So Disney had to pay MGM a fee to use the Ruby Slippers in the movie.
And I'll say this, in the movie, they didn't look great.
No, they kind of look like slippers.
Yeah, they look like really cheap ripoffs of like the real things.
To be fair, the Ruby Slippers in the original movie were not slippers. They were high heels. So,
yes. Yeah.
So at least these look like slippers.
Yeah, it doesn't help, honestly.
But I mean, that's just a I forget. I'm lost on the word actually. Nitpick, I guess.
Yeah. Nitpick.
Yeah, I think that's it for the behind the scenes stuff, right? I mean, it was nominated for a bunch of awards, but me and you have a negative opinion on awards, so it doesn't really matter to us.
Not that I don't have negative opinions on them. It's just it's art. Again, it's art. So
it doesn't make any difference to us if you won an award or not.
Yeah. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's art. Like, I
mean, I feel bad for the two main actresses, the kid actresses who were nominated for a bunch of awards, but doesn't look like they won any of them.
No, okay. I was going to say something really harsh. I feel bad for the main actress who didn't win anything. The other actress, she doing the movie. She showed up once or twice in the movie, and that's it.
I mean, she wasn't in the movie a lot, but she was in the beginning and in the end. And,
yeah, but not enough to like warrant like, oh, she deserves a nod. No. The main actress, I think, deserves a nod or a nomination. The other one, nah.
I mean,
She was
it
just
wasn't-
there, like, hey, do
but
this, and
she
hey,
was-
thank you.
She wasn't bad in the role, though.
I know, I'm not saying she was bad, but I don't think she did enough. It's like saying, hey, any person on screen deserves an award attempt. And she was just there. Like, compared to the main actress who did a lot in the movie, good or bad.
That's fair, but at the same time, it also depends on like what they're nominating you for too. If it's a supporting role or something like that, you know what I mean?
It says they're both nominated for the Young Artist Awards.
They were
and
nominated
and multiple Youthies.
Yeah, I don't know what a Youthie is. That's what I was referring to.
No idea.
So I just figured they were both just nominated for different categories of different rewards. You know,
but like even if you want to give the other one, I'm not even trying to bash the little girl for like she wasn't a bad actor. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying her size of a role. If you want to nominate her for like a supporting actress, like she was barely in it. Yeah. So like I can't see why you would give her or nominate her for anything.
At the same time, how many children's roles? Well, that's fair. Because I was thinking about how many roles for kids are in it, and then you said Goonies came out this year. So
yeah, and they all had big roles. She literally just says in the beginning of the movie, "Hey, do this, go to us." And she's like at the end of the movie, "Thank you," and don't tell anybody what happens. Like, okay, like, I'm not trying to bash her. It was just I thought it was just weird that she was on equal ground with literally the girl who was in the whole damn 2-hour movie.
I'm gonna read you what a Youthie is. The Youthie Artist Award is an accolade presented by the Young Artists Foundation, a nonprofit organization founded in 1978 to honor excellence of youth performers and to provide scholarships for young artists who may be physically disabled or financially unstable.
Damn. Is she mental? Is she?
I don't know, but you might have just insulted a disabled person.
Okay, sure. I treat them like an equal. I'm cool with that. I didn't say, oh, she was a blank and she was a blank for being blank. No, I was like, no, she just didn't do anything in the movie.
she had a few roles in the movie, though.
Yeah, but again, it's like going to any side character in the movie. Hey, you were in this and you had 2 lines. You want a nomination? Can't have a nomination.
She had a little more than 2 lines.
Yeah, but like again, compared to the main, it's like give the Scarecrow actor a nomination. He was barely in it too.
I'm not saying that she should have more than the other actress, not at all. But saying that she doesn't deserve anything, or at least a nod here or there for something, is wrong compared to.
I don't think she does deserve one though.
If she was the better choice for a specific category, we don't know exactly what was nominated for what, because we're not going to dig that deep into it.
I know. Actually, I genuinely don't care. I'm just like
that's all I'm saying.
Of the awards that I know of, it's just the best supporting a new person on screen. She did nothing to warrant for me. Like she's just hey. But she didn't do anything like, oh, that girl has a future in this. She should be nominated for future. I didn't see anything she did to warrant.
I believe, and this is just my personal opinion,
yeah,
any child actor who can act competently in the 80s deserves praise.
Well, she barely acted, though.
No, she did act, though.
Like, what scene it was like, oh, that was riveting? What scene did she like,
not
wow?
Riveting, but competency is still enough for a child actor.
Like compared to the other one on screen?
Look, I'm just saying, I've been scarred by some child actors in my day.
So who hasn't, right? Some of them are just really
So that's what I mean. That's where I'm a little more forgiving when it's a child actor. I'm sorry. If they're good, if they're at least competent, I'm like, oh, they did a good job.
I don't know. She had nothing. Like she just had nothing as a role. Not the character, not her. Just as the role. Like it was just like.
Well, yeah, I know, but that's not her fault.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, don't nominate her for anything because she didn't do anything.
She went in that river.
Okay, probably nominate her for that. Good job for going in the river. We're gonna give you a nomination, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird tangent. I'm sorry. It was I was reading the accolades. Like, really, she got something. Then I missed a scene where she did something harrowing and had good acting performance. Like, I can't imagine being. Oh God, I can't even say the name. Who's her? Fairuza Balk.
Fairuza Balk.
Yeah, I can't imagine being her, the girl who played Dorothy, throughout the whole movie, and then be like, hey, I got nominated for an award. And the other girl's like, hey, so did I. It's like, bitch, you were barely there. How did you get nominated for an award?
So I was going to click on the actress Emma Riddle to see what she was nominated for, just because this argument's gotten out of hand. She doesn't even have a link.
No, I'm on her IMDb, and she has one nominee for the Young Artist Award. Exceptional performance by a young actress in motion picture Return of Oz, 1985. Exceptional performance by a young actress. The fuck is that, TJ?
Young actress?
Yes.
To be fair, I think the Goonies were all actors.
No, there were some female actresses. I mean, I guess they weren't kids at the time. They were the teenage ones.
You know, I think they might have had slim pickings for actresses that year.
Okay, and for the main actress, Fairuza, her nominee was for... Wait, hold on.
It's funny how we just went off how we don't care about awards, and we just spent the last 10 minutes looking up awards.
We really did. I'm trying. If you're gonna give someone a fucking award, don't give another one. Yeah, because she got to say, okay, best starring performance by a young actress, best exceptional. Okay, so 2 different award nominations. So the main actress had best starring performance by a young actress, motion picture, and Emma had exceptional performance by a young actress.
Yeah. To be fair, it sounds like a consolation
That's what I'm saying. Like you're giving her like, hey, you're into something. Like, really?
But it's for kids. Who cares?
It's just something bullshit. That's all.
She didn't do a bad job, and if
she didn't. But she was just barely there.
If there was an award there that is essentially a consolation prize, who cares?
Well, now that I know what the awards were, I hate that I don't know they exist. I hate that I went down this rabbit hole and that I know that they exist. I'm less annoyed. It's still dumb because she was barely there, but you know what? Sure, nominate her. Whatever.
I think that's it, right? Are we done?
I hope so.
Man. All right, so we got one more thing to cover before we jump into the movie proper.
Oh God!
Because this is the first DVD in a while that had trailers in it.
Oh yay!
And
speaking of which, before we get into this, you have newer DVDs, I guess, right? Like, you have do they have trailers in them? Like the new Avenger movies and stuff like that?
Depends. Blu-rays don't tend to have trailers.
Yeah, they have like promotional stuff, I guess.
Yeah, but DVDs, it depends on the company, really.
Okay.
Like, some of them do, some of them don't.
Yeah, some like promote, like, hey, buy this collectible shit or whatever.
Yeah.
But not like...
Yeah, it's not this... And a lot of times the trailers are buried in the special features and not in...
Yeah.
Not in the front, like you're in a movie theater.
Now, to be fair, a little fun fact for you might know, you might not know. The word trailer comes from the fact that the trailers used to come in after the movie was played, not beforehand. Hence, trailing. It came out trailing after the movie. I don't know why we've put them in the front now, but we've started putting them in the front. So it's a fun fact for you.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I did know they used to play the credits in the front, not in the back, which makes more sense.
Makes way more sense.
It's because you're finding out who's doing what in the movie. So.
Yeah, they literally put the trailers to the front now and the credits in the back. Like, because it can sell money. Like, yeah, we can sell more movie tickets for trailers in the front.
Right, obviously. And then, obviously, no one gives a crap about the credits. The only reason people even stay for credits anymore is because of, like, Marvel and stuff.
Yeah. Which is good. I think you should kind of sit through the credits and support, like, hey, so, I mean, you really can't support them, but like, hey, you were in there, but like,
yeah, but at the same time, how many people who are sitting through the credits are looking at the credits?
No one cares. No one. No. Especially when it's a big...
As nowadays, you're on your phone as the credits are playing.
Or at best, you're talking to someone about what you just saw.
Yeah. So, even so.
I do wish movie theaters had that more often. Like, it's like, after the movie was played, they gave you like 10 minutes to sit in the theater and talk about, like, hey, that was crazy, wasn't it? But I digest. What we're talking about, how do we get to this? You have trailers. These are trailers.
Yeah, I got weird trailers, too. Because this is a 1985 movie released in 2004. So you would think I would have, like, 2000 trailers. But I look like I got trailers from, like, 1960s to 1970s.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you get?
So, the first one I got is the Apple Dumpling Gang. Oh, they're all Disney, by the way.
That sounds terrible.
It's looked like a comedic Western with Don Knotts.
Comedic Western with Don Knotts. It sounds okay.
I mean, it looked like a live-action Disney movie from 1960s something. So, for that time period, it looked okay, I guess.
Yeah.
And then there was a sequel to it, apparently. The Apple Dumpling Gang Rides Again.
Oh my God.
So...
Are you getting out movies we're going to review later, TJ?
I never even heard of some of these movies.
It sounds fun, though.
And then there was a trailer for The Love Bug. What's the car's actual name?
Herbie?
Herbie, yeah. But the original Love Bug movie.
I used to hate Herbie.
Then I had a trailer for the original Parent Trap movie.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, not the Lindsay Lohan one. The original one with the twins and stuff. I forget what their names are. Then we had a trailer for Escape to Witch Mountain, and then the sequel, Return from Witch Mountain.
There was more than one of those?
Yep. And then I had the trailer for the original, The Absent-Minded Professor, or what was known in the 80s as Flubber.
The original, I forgot that was a remake with one of
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had a trailer for that. Weird set of trailers.
That's very weird, honestly.
Yeah, like I said, because this was a 1985 movie re-released in 2004, so you would think there'd be trailers that were at least related to those, but no, I got like weird live-action Disney movie trailers.
Well, that's good, though, I guess. So this is a live-action Disney movie, so...
Yeah, but it's just like, you would think they would like give you something from the time periods, or they want to promote something that's coming out in 2004 from Walt Disney.
Which I'm glad they didn't.
But it's just weird trailers to give you to try to sell you something, because that's all they're trying to do, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know. But like, I'm glad they kind of stuck with that theme. We'll call it that.
Yeah, it was weird. All right. So I guess that's it. We're ready to dive into this?
Sure. Hold on. Let's do this.
So like I mentioned earlier, my DVD opens up with an introduction from the main actress as an adult, saying, "This is my first movie." I was like, okay.
This is your first movie?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, apparently.
What a first movie to have, huh? That's
Yeah.
how you do it.
Let's see. There was something. She was picked from over 600 people in Vancouver to do it. She said she burst into tears because she was so happy. It was a really big thing for her to even get an audition, nevertheless get a real starring role in a film. So
that's adorable.
Yeah, it sounded like she really wanted the role. Same thing with the other actress who was really
the one I should have.
Yeah, she said it was a dream come true to actually get the role of Ozma, and she actually watched. What is it? What are they called? Visual adaptations of the two books to try to get the character down and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
They had that at the time?
Where is it?
Were those popular enough back then?
She was cast in the role. She was described as dream come true. In permission for the role, she would watch visual adaptations of the story and analyze the opinions of critics of Ozma.
Huh.
She described she tried to make her Kansas character, the one in the hospital in the beginning, very calm and very studious, up in to wear little makeup and perform barefooted. So she put a lot of thought into her role.
Yeah, I respect that.
Which is probably why I probably read this last night and probably stuck with me, and probably why I was so defensive of her.
As I'm bashing.
Yeah.
I'm not even bashing her. I'm really not. I was just bashing her size of her role. That's it. That's all I was doing. I thought it was kind of unfair to the main actress to be like, "Oh, my co-star gonna." You my co-star. I barely saw her in the movie. I was a fat robot the whole time. And a pumpkin guy. God, this movie's stupid. I think
what you were expected.
Not this. I think if I went in, this is a movie you got to watch with friends or under the influence of some kind of thing. And I think if you watch this sober-minded and by yourself, you're not going to be like, I'm not saying it's not a bad movie. It's just like, damn, I could have enjoyed this more. And if I took a part of some kind of thing or was with a group of friends, this could have been a really fun movie to watch. But by yourself, sober-minded, trying to take notes, like, wow, this is a movie, I guess.
I think that ruins a lot of movies.
What?
Having to sit here and take notes.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's like, why is this taking so long?
Yes.
I've
been critical of movies since middle school, TJ, because I chose this path for some reason. So yeah, it sucks. And I think I was gonna watch this with like one of my cousins who are younger. I was like, I don't want to subjugate them to this, just in case if they don't like it, I don't want to abandon the movie halfway through. I should have made them watch it.
I think they would have liked it.
I think so too. Honestly, like if I was watching this movie, I'm thinking like, I think kids nowadays would enjoy this.
Yeah. Because I remember really liking it. I mean, I came out of it still liking it, but didn't remember quite how kiddie it was.
Super kiddie.
Yeah.
But it also is not kiddie. It's some imagery, like you said.
But that's what I mean, because that's the parts that I remember. I remember the dark imagery from it. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot of dark imagery for such a kid's film movie.
Yes.
So that's why it stuck out to me. But again, I haven't watched this movie in 20 years. So
I haven't watched this movie ever.
Maybe 30 years, actually, now that I think about it. All right, let's dive into this proper. We open up in space. Not really. It's just Dorothy looking at the stars in her room. But so yeah, we open up in Dorothy's room, and Aunt Em comes in, and apparently Dorothy has not been able to sleep since she's gotten back from Oz.
Makes sense. PTSD or whatever you would call it. Like, that's some life-changing shit you witness and experience. And going back to normal reality as a kid, you can't adjust to that.
Right. And she sees a shooting star, and she thinks her friends are in trouble for some reason. We don't know why. But essentially, her aunt and uncle think she's crazy. So they're going to take her to a doctor who's going to commit electric shock therapy.
Which is new at the time. It was state of the art.
Yeah.
It's barbaric.
I forgot how dark this opening was. I saw, because Uncle Henry's reading the newspaper, and it's like electric healing. I was like, are they going to electric shock therapy this little girl?
Like, how sad.
And they try.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
You know, at the time, you know, they didn't know better. So, like, it's not a bad thing.
Hold on.
At the time of where this movie set, not in the movie that time it was filmed. That's what I'm arguing. Now, I'm not saying 1980, whatever. I'm saying 1800s, right?
But here's my thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this out here. I don't think this Kansas stuff is in the books.
That's fine.
Like, I think this was an original creation.
Which I like. Good job for the person who wrote that in. It's like, freak.
So I'm just saying. It's not like they took it from the books and it was like a piece of a time capsule from that time.
I know, but they added it to the script. I'm not a historian, so I don't know how faithful to the history it is. But like,
yeah, I don't remember it being in there. It could have been, but I don't think it is, because the point of the Kansas stuff in this movie just is the make it cohesive with the first movie, where the people she sees in Kansas translate over to Oz.
Yes.
Whereas in the books, that was never a thing.
Yeah.
Because Oz is an actual real place that Dorothy continuously goes back to in subsequent books and stuff.
Yeah, the movies can't make her seem like she's a lunatic.
She's a crazy kid, yes.
Yeah, feel bad for her. Because no one's ever going to believe that.
No. I'm just, yeah. Okay, so they're going to take Dorothy to the doctor. So the next day, she wakes up and we get introduced to, well, Toto's there, but he's not a big role in this one.
I was kind of sad about that. They replaced with a chicken instead. I was like, damn.
That's straight from the books, by the way.
No, but I want Toto. I don't know if you like the original Wizard of Oz, but like, come on, keep Toto in.
So we're introduced to a chicken named Billina who has stopped laying eggs. It's important. Remember that. But so Dorothy's trying to find. It's a kid's book. What do you want?
So dumb. It's like that's a very important thing in this movie. And they never mention again until it becomes really important for some fucking reason. Like, they hint at it a little bit. They hint at it.
Throughout the whole movie, that's why chickens aren't allowed in Oz.
Yeah, but it's like,
that's the whole point. They're like, well, we gotta tell the Gnome King that there's a chicken here.
And I get that. But like, at the end, when it does the thing, it's like, really? She couldn't do that thing until now, and now she does the thing, and now, like, really?
Well, because she was literally scared the poop out of her.
So stupid. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
This whole movie's weird, but it's definitely a kid's film ending. So
yeah. It is.
Anyway. So, as Dorothy's looking for the egg, telling Billina that Aunt Em's gonna cook you if you don't start laying eggs, Billina finds a key, and I didn't get this, but Dorothy traces her finger over it, and it says Oz on this. And I'm like,
she just said Oz. I didn't see her trace her finger. Like, how she knows it says Oz?
She traced her finger over it because it's like a circle and a line down of it, and she got Oz out of it, but it didn't look like it to me. But maybe it did.
No, I spit my notes too. Like, how she get Oz out of this?
But she definitely traced her finger around the circle and down it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe So I kind of took it as she traced the word Oz to like reinforce her delusional state.
Exactly.
That's what I kind of got out of it, or what at least they were trying to get us to get out of it. But this key is important. Remember,
the key and the chicken are important, guys.
It is. So Aunt Em takes Dorothy to the doctor. Well, I mean, she goes, and then we got Toto coming and barking because Toto seems to sense danger.
I was so sad. I like, bring Toto with you. Don't leave him behind, because the last time we see Toto. And it's like, no.
He comes back at the end.
Does he? Okay, it's the last time in the main part of the story, I guess, not counting that.
Yeah, he's gone for a majority of the movie.
Yeah, it's like, because I feel like you said, he senses danger, and like, she's gonna go back to the place I was at too. I kind of want to, like, maybe he's got PTSD. Like, I gotta see this again.
No, I kind of took it as that he senses that Dorothy's going to be in trouble and in danger, and he can't help if he's here, you know?
I was genuinely sad I didn't bring Toto. And when he was saying his goodbyes to her, like, damn, gonna cry at this.
So, we get to
again, I do not like the original film. Say that.
We should probably cover that at some point, just to get your opinions out there so everyone can tell you how wrong you are.
Such a boring movie. It's probably good. It's probably good. I saw it as a kid, and like that and E.T. are two films I just couldn't give a less about. Like these movies, I just don't care.
That's why Marcus picks bad movies, because he never got to experience good movies.
I experienced them, I just didn't care for them. Goonies, like, it's a movie.
Yeah,
I don't get the hype.
He watched like 10 minutes of it and like, this is bad, and walked away.
I saw all of Goonies. I saw the octopus one. Like, this is something. It's good, I guess. Fun.
Anyway, so we get to the doctor, and he shows her the machine that he's going to use on her. Hey, this machine's got a face. And I swear to God, like 2 days before, I remembered a scene from somewhere, and I didn't remember it was from this movie, so I don't know what that was about, but I had a really deja vu for some reason.
That's weird. That's very weird, TJ.
Yeah. I was like, but anyway, he shows it, and Dorothy's acting is very good in this, but weird.
Why say that?
Because she always looks like she is like insane almost, with her big bulging eyes. You know what I'm saying? though? Like she always looks like she's almost terrified and crazy.
Well, yeah, I got that from me. Like when I was watching her act, I got it. Like she's a kid who's obviously experienced Oz. She's back to this dull reality, which no one believes. So she's portraying that well, like, because she knows she's not crazy, but like she's just like entertaining the adults. Like, yeah, sure, it's a face.
Yeah, that's what I got was weird out of it. Her just acceptance of, and I get it, she's just a kid. And these are the adults and stuff like that, but it felt kind of creepy. If you get my gist,
I definitely get where you're coming from.
Yeah, it felt like she knows that these people are wrong, and it's just like, okay, I guess if you say so.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. As she's acting like, I'm not saying this happened to her, but I'm saying she's acting like a kid who's experienced something really tragic or very not kid friendly to that kid should experience, like a death or whatever the you want to equate it to. And now she's just like, I experienced this big thing in my life at this age, even though like I shouldn't have done that at this age. So now I'm just gonna be like, again, stilted story, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's acting stilted.
Yeah. But she's really good in the role.
She's really good at it. Like, it's weird. Like, wow. What has this kid seen in her life?
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think they got the right person for the role.
Yes.
That they were going for.
Yes. And this is why she should have gotten more Oscar nominations than her friend did. Just saying.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that the other person shouldn't have got, as, deserved something.
I don't think so, but...
So he
this
also
2 hours of me bashing the other girl for no reason.
Yes, pretty much.
God.
The Dorothy explains like some of the lore to the doctor, and of course the doctor thinks she's insane. But we get some tidbits from like how the Tin Man became the Tin Man. He cut his own limbs off with an axe until he became nothing but tin. Yeah,
she was saying this shit. I was like, I don't remember this from the first one.
Yeah,
like, that's kind of morbid.
That's because all the stuff is in the books.
Yeah, it's like, God damn.
Well, anyway, they're like, after everything, they're like, so you in, Dorothy? And she's like, I guess. And M's like, okay, I'm going to leave you here. I'll be back tomorrow with Toto. Do what they say. Here's your lunch.
I thought she was there for a few days.
No, she said tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, here's your lunch, pal. Listen to this crazy, evil-looking woman who's clearly evil. Yeah,
who's clearly a bad person. Like, goddamn. Like, the doctor, he seemed pretty genuine. Like, okay, he's trying to do something good. The lady's like, nah, that's a witch.
Yeah, but it's usually how it works, right? The mastermind's usually, charismatic and stuff, and then you got the evil, can't hide it person, and there's a subordinate.
Yeah, true. That's true.
And so I guess she's a nurse, his nurse or whatever.
I don't know.
She's some kind of thing.
Headmistress, I guess, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah, I don't know. She takes Dorothy's lunch power away for some reason. I don't know why.
She's bad. That's it.
And she puts Dorothy in this room that I can only explain as like an insane asylum cell. That's dressed up to look like a bedroom.
Yes. It does have a window to escape from, so that's good.
It does. It does have a window. But the walls are all dirty and like everything looks like it's disheveled and falling apart.
Yeah, it's just a bleak area to live. No matter how old you are, it's just like
we also find out at this point that it's almost the year 1900, the age of technology.
Yes, it's 1889. God, that's insane.
Yeah. So,
right, not one black person in this movie. What's up?
Well, it's 1889. Black people didn't exist then. I'm gonna bring up a comparison, but let's get through the scene. So Dorothy's in a room, and then this little girl just shows up. I don't know if she's a ghost or something. Yeah, she just appeared in the room, and she's like, "Hi, Dorothy. What are you doing here? Here's a pumpkin."
First off, how do you know my name? Second off,
I'll be back later. Bye. And so Dorothy's left in the room with the pumpkin. She combs the pumpkin for some reason. You know, the pumpkin is obviously a reference to a later character. And she's taking care of the pumpkin. So, you know, it's all there if you're looking at it.
No, it is. It is. It's good storytelling. I can't argue that. Like, hey, here's all the things that are going to be later on in the movie, guys.
So, this whole beginning scene, you're probably not going to get this reference at all. There's a video game called American McGee's Alice.
Sounds terrible.
It is a dark take on Alice in Wonderland, where in reality, Alice's home, I don't know if she did it, or if it was an accident. I think she did it. She burns down her home and her parents dies, but she goes insane and is put into a mental institution. So when she's back in Wonderland, everything's twisted.
Okay.
So the game is pretty much you as Alice in a twisted Wonderland, and everything's like trying to kill you and stuff like that. Really reminded me of that. This whole opening.
That sounds like fun, honestly. Because I'll say this: back. I hate. I keep prefacing. I don't like the Wizard of Oz, and so back in college, I guess, late high school, early college career myself, I was never a fan of the Wizard of Oz movie, but I liked the idea of it and like what happened afterwards. Did not knowing this movie existed until recently, I guess, past 5 years. And
to be fair, but before you even continue with that,
yeah,
there are like 100 Oz books.
Yes,
so.
Yes, and I never did research because I don't do research. That's who I am. But I've always wanted to make.
That's our mantra on this show.
We do research today of the podcast. Like, oh, no way, guys. No, I've always wanted to do, I keep on calling her Alice, Dorothy returning to Oz, and the aftermath being just detrimental. Like, the lying and the Scarecrow each have their own territory of Oz, and the Tin Men have their own territory of Oz, and they're just battling out because they're assholes and dictators and shit. It's like, that'd be fun to me. But yeah, no, that was my version of this kind of stuff. I guess everyone went dark with it for some fucking reason.
Because everyone thinks that's interesting.
Yeah, and I abandoned the idea like after a week of it.
Do you know how many adaptations and comic books there is of the Dark Wizard of Oz?
I know. Trust me, I know. That's why I abandoned it. Like, this isn't fun.
And to be fair, those books are all public domain, so if you wanted to, you could.
Yeah. It's just effort. I have to do it. I'm not going to do. You and effort don't get along. No. So I speak this out to existence, and everyone wants to do like a gang wars of Oz. Go for it. It could be compelling if you do it right, I guess. Probably not. Kind of like Planet Hulk, I guess, right? Like combine that and Oz. There you go, guys.
No, Planet Hulk is nothing like that.
It's a territory. Yeah. I mean, I'm not nothing like this, but like, isn't Planet Hulk?
No.
Like, the planet is ruled by Hulk? Well, no, which one am I thinking of? Isn't there a story arc in Marvel where the United States or the world's it's like post-apocalyptic and it's like territories? World War Hulk. Is that one?
Maybe. I don't actually know. I the storyline I think you're talking about, though, Planet Hulk, I think is the Illuminati, which is not the Illuminati you're thinking of.
No,
the
it's
Illuminati.
It's
the superhero band Illuminati.
Yes.
Decided to shoot Hulk into space because he destroyed Las Vegas by accident because he couldn't control himself. And then he got stuck on a planet in which he became, I think it was the gladiator thing from Ragnarok. I think it was something like that. And then he took over the planet and became smart and then came back to Earth and started to try to take over Earth, which is what World War Hulk was.
That's what I'm thinking, World War Hulk. Because don't the people Like they like face his sons and shit like that.
No, I don't know what that you're talking about is. I mean, it could be, but I don't think so.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of video. I don't know. I'm thinking of some stuff. You know.
I mean, but honestly, what you're thinking of, there's a Batman story called I actually forget what it's called off the top of my head, but the city gets cut off from the rest of the United States, and all the villains chop up the city and take different sections of the city, and the United States declares it. Oh, it's called No Man's Land. Yeah, declares declares it No Man's Land, and so Batman and the GCPT, like the GCPT's got their own section that they're in, and then Batman's trying to save a city that is literally dominated by different sections of the craziest people in Gotham.
See, I like that. I like concepts like that. It was just like the bad guys in control, they have territories. I like the gang members getting together, like the heads of those gangs talking about territories. I like shit like that. So I would definitely read that, watch it, whatever. But yeah.
I mean, it's interesting.
It is. I mean, it's been under death probably in so many mediums, but you know, I find I track to it.
No Man's Land? I don't think so.
Stuff like that. Stuff like that. Not to the T.
Because it's a fun story to tell. So of course it's been done to death. So
yeah, I just gravitate towards it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people gravitate towards it, and that's why it's almost a trope now. So
yeah, exactly.
But it's a good trope. It's a fun trope.
It is. Like I'm not talking ill on that. I'm not talking shit.
It's actually works, I think, best in like video games where you have to fight your way through and retake it from the different villains and stuff.
Open world kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So
weird tangent. How'd we get here?
Because you were talking about your fan fiction of Wizard of Oz.
It's not fan fiction. It is. But you were saying something before that.
Where was I in the story? I don't even remember.
Oh, because you brought up.
American McGee's Alice.
Yes. How are we doing an hour so far? What?
I don't even know how you got to that from that, because like the Alice McGee's American McGee's Alice is a deranged girl's delusions in a messed up Oz that has nothing to do with gang wars.
It just reminded me of my idea, and like how everyone has a take on this. Same thing with Alice in Wonderland. Everyone has their versions of shit like this. That's all.
Yeah, I mean they're classic stories that anyone can use. So
that's another question I had when you said public domain earlier. I wish more things would fall into the public domain.
Well,
I'm kind of glad they don't. I kind of wish they did.
Well, the problem with it is corporations rig the laws so now the public domain anything never falls in the public domain anymore.
You know who started it?
Disney,
guys.
All right, so I think Dorothy's still in her prison cell.
Yes, yeah. No, she's being transported to.
All right, so they come and get her after it starts raining and it gets ominous, and so they're like, "Get on the evil hench lady says, get on the stretcher," and she's like, "Okay," and lay down, and she's like, "I'd rather sit." What did your aunt say? Do what she say? So lay down, and then they tie her down. She's like, "Why are you tying me down?" And then they wheel her into the room, and they're about to electric shock therapy this. What is she, like 8 in this?
Oh yes, like did they age her up in the first one?
Yes.
Okay.
No, technically.
Are they the same age as different actors?
They're technically Dorothy is the same age, but Julie Garland's supposed to be like 8 in that movie.
Okay, and she was like what, 20 probably in that movie?
I actually don't know. I think she was actually younger than that.
Okay, because I just the size difference got me. That's how I knew. That's
she was definitely a teenager, but in the book she's supposed to be like this.
Okay,
and they kind of just put Judy Garland in that role, even though as like it's supposed to be like an 8-year-old. As far as
wasn't like Shirley Temple popular back then. Like, why not pick her?
I don't know what the deal was behind all of that. This is all stuff that I remember hearing about.
Yeah.
I have no actual facts.
That was 1939.
Yes.
Shirley Temple. And she was dead. Shirley Temple. She died in 2014. She was old when she died. So she was born in 1928, Shirley Temple. So she'd have been 10 years old. She could have done this Wizard of Oz movie.
Yeah, but I think they wanted Judy Garland specifically because she was older. I think
she was an actress between 1934 and 1938. She was prime time Wizard of Oz age to be that role.
Yeah, but my point is, I don't think they wanted a kid in the role.
You know, I get what you're saying, but it's just a weird choice. But again, like you said, they changed a lot from the books. I get it.
And it was 1939.
Yeah, they had terrible child safety laws and shit like that, so they could have had her play it.
No, but I'm just saying there was different, ideas and standards and stuff like that. What was expected and stuff like that.
I'd rather see that, honestly. See Shirley Temple as that, then. Not saying Judy Garland did a bad job. She did a great job in that movie.
You better be careful. There's a lot of Judy Garland fans out there.
What, 80-year-olds who don't f***ing gum me to death? Calm down.
She was like an icon in her time, man.
Just about to review, TJ.
All right. So they tie her down, they wheel her in and about to give her electric shock therapy, and then the power goes out. So they're like, okay, let's go check the generator or something. They leave the girl tied down in the room by herself, and then the other girl from earlier that just appeared out of nowhere comes out and frees her. It's like, we gotta get out of here. Oh, by the way, there's screaming and stuff going on in the background.
Yeah, so there's other people in the hospital freaking out.
Honestly, this whole scenario, her wheeling her in, was kind of unnerving a little bit.
Yeah.
It was kind of disturbing.
Yeah, honestly, from this point until she gets to Oz, it's kind of like, ooh, it's like a horror movie I'm watching.
Yeah. So, the two girls escape out into the rain, chased by the evil henchwoman, and they go through the forest, and they end up in this, like, dangerous-looking flowing river. Like, that river is actually real, and those girls are going to drown if they go in there, kind of river. And so they get in there, and they get taken away by the current, and then Dorothy pulls herself into a cage that was under the water somehow, like a wooden cage or something.
Yeah, and somehow like she can still float in it.
I don't know, but she gets into it, and I guess the other girl drowned. They say at the end of the movie that everyone was saved, but I didn't see anyone save that little girl from that river.
Everyone but one person, which we'll get to later, which I laughed at. But yeah, it's like this girl died.
So, unless she's really in Oz, because Oz is a real place.
Yeah, which that's what I figured. Like, she didn't exist, and she was just like, yeah, I'm part of Oz.
She was just she wasn't an actual patient. She was actually,
But, no, this girl died, and they never found the body. There was no records of her. There was no, like, goddamn, guys.
Anyway, so Dorothy passes out, and she wakes up the next day in a pond in the middle of a desert with her chicken, Bellina, who now talks.
Ugh, I'll say this right now, I hate this character. The Bellina chicken thing. It got old quickly. That's all. It was this movie's
comic relief character.
The little things
guys from Willow.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it's the cheesy little one-liners and stuff like that.
It's just don't do this.
Yeah, but anyway, she needed a side companion, but at least in the original Wizard of Oz, Toto didn't talk. But
yeah, exactly. That's why I miss Toto.
But I think Bellina does talk in the books.
That's
if
fine.
I remember correctly. So I guess they're just following,
being faithful to the adaptation of the source material.
Right. Anyway, Bellina's hungry and she's going to go look for food, but Dorothy stops her because they're in the middle of the deadly desert, which if you step into sand, you turn to sand.
Which again was not a thing in the first one, was it?
No.
Okay.
But Dorothy does mention when she flew over it when she went home.
Yeah, but how does she know about it? Well, that's from the books it makes sense, but like just from the first movie, they never mention it. And like, hey, be aware of this.
To be fair, this movie is an unofficial sequel.
Yeah.
So it's technically kind of a sequel, but not really. So we're supposed to take it as it's both a sequel to the original and the books.
Okay.
You know
if I'm going to be critical and be like an asshole about it, and I was trying to be like a movie guy, like I'll be like, nah, this movie because this is bullshit. That was the part of the original movie. But I'm not going to be that guy, so don't worry.
But I mean, like I said, to be fair, it's not like they said this is the official sequel to the Wizard of Oz, and it's technically not.
Yes.
It's just an adaptation of the second and third books, really. Anyway, so we're in a deadly desert, and Dorothy's stepping on rocks to avoid touching the sand, and in the rocks is a face.
A really well-animated, claymated face.
Yes. The effects are really good in this movie.
To a point.
Well, yeah, there's some bad things.
Yeah, the rock stuff, I like the rock stuff a lot.
Like
the other
the-
shit, I kind of
like-
care for.
The claymation is pretty bad. I mean, pretty good.
Yes.
Well,
The people on the wheels, stupid as shit.
they're just dressed up.
Alright, that's annoying.
We'll get to them in a moment. I'm just trying to find out if this face has a name.
Does it matter?
Well, I just realized everything else has got a name and a backstory and stuff, and I have no idea. I guess it's just a gnome, right?
Yeah, I guess the gnomes are rocks in this. I would call him Rocky.
Well, anyway, because this is a minion of the Gnome King,
Yeah.
who, spoilers right now, has taken over Oz.
What? How could this be?
Yeah, this is the way he takes over Oz is a mixture of the movie and the books, because he doesn't do this in the books. I don't think he might actually. No, I don't remember. It's weird. Anyway, so they get on land and they come across a tree, a lunch pail tree. It's a tree that grows lunch pails
Get it, guys? Does she have
Because-
lunch pail?
because it's 1900 and lunch boxes didn't exist yet. They carried all their stuff in sand buckets.
What do you think it would be nowadays?
What?
What kind of tree would that be? Like, would it be because the lunchbox is still a thing? I guess.
I guess it would be like miniature coolers.
Yeah.
So probably cooler tree,
Yeah.
because that's what lunchboxes are these days, right?
Pretty
I mean,
much.
I
Yeah.
would
Like
assume.
little coolers. Yeah.
Anyway, so she pulls down 2 lunch pails, one for now and one for later. So the lunch pails have lunch inside them, like ham with sandwiches and stuff. So those trees would be really convenient in the real world, though.
No, they couldn't exist in the real world
Why?
because government and like that's socialism, and you can't give people food for free and they'd be subsidized and they tax the shit out. It'd be a whole f***ing mess. You know that's how it is.
You just gotta find them in a random forest somewhere.
Now, to be fair, there are plants that grow food. Like the plants grow food, so you technically could make that a thing. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I like the idea. It's just
Grow your
never
own
gonna happen.
lunch pail tree out in your backyard.
God, they would tax the shit out of you to grow a lunch. You want to grow one? It's going to cost this much a month. Come on, guys.
You just hide it like you do
Weed
When you-
plants.
when you grow. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In any case, so Dorothy's exploring Oz, and she comes across her old house that she got transported to in the first movie. Except there's no Munchkins around. What happened to the Munchkins?
Oh,
Look.
shit. You know what? They never show up in the movie, huh?
Nope.
Did they massacre? Did they
I don't know.
genocide the Munchkins?
We don't know.
Holy shit. What the f***, TJ?
It does.
Wow. No, they were all in Willow. That's what happened. All the little people got hired for Willow.
They moved over to the other movie. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Dorothy mentions that where are the Munchkins, and then we never hear from them again.
Yeah, they just gloss over that shit.
So, not only are their Munchkins gone, but look, the Yellow Brick Road's all disheveled and broken too.
Yeah.
What is happening? So Dorothy's like, oh no, what's happening? So she follows the Yellow Brick Road, and she gets to Emerald City a lot quicker this time around.
Yeah, she does. Well, she's been here before. She knows what she's doing. And there's no one making her dance and sing and jump and hip and hop. She's just running.
That's fair. Technically, at the Emerald City is like only 10 minutes down the Yellow Brick Road from the Munchkin Kingdom. Anyway, she gets to the Emerald Kingdom, and guess what? There are no emeralds.
If
Everything's
anything-
falling apart.
Gorg's right. Medusa's taking it over.
Yeah, because everyone's turned to stone.
Yeah.
What is going on? So yeah, Dorothy's exploring the Emerald Kingdom, and she sees a bunch of people turned to stone. She finds the Tin Man turned to stone. She finds the Cowardly Lion turned to stone. She sees some headless dancers. That's important. Remember the headless dancers. And as she's exploring, the Wheelers show up.
Dun, dun, dun.
They were lame looking,
Extremely lame looking.
but for everybody that I've seen that's ever covered this movie, always talks about how terrifying they are.
Really?
Yeah, that they had nightmares when they were kids when they saw these things.
See, again, if I saw this with friends or under something, like even drunk, I'm like, damn, this is weird. But yeah, they seem super annoying. Like they're just laughing and giggling.
Looking at them from a critical point of view, they are kind of like.
They're
However, they are creepy looking if you just take them at face value.
they're creepy on surface, on a flat
Yeah.
surface. If you go on stairs, they are not a threat.
Yeah, I know.
I thought, like, why should I go up the steps? Like, just go on the steps. They're fine. There's God.
But to be fair, you have to look at it from Dorothy's point of view.
I
It's
know.
an 8-year-old girl
Yeah.
with a chicken surrounded by these people on wheels trying to throw you into a desert that turns you to sand.
Now, okay, when we're saying people on wheels, their feet and legs are elongated, and they're like on all fours, and their feet and hands are wheels.
They're rollerblades, essentially.
Yeah, and they have colorful outfits, and some have like these kind of weird masks.
You know what they actually reminded me of?
What?
What do they call the gang from the Clockwork Orange?
Yeah. Oh shit, I should know this. Yeah, that's the same thing I was thinking too.
That's what they reminded me of. I can't remember the name of the gang, but
Damn it! But yeah, the people in Clockwork Orange.
yeah.
I should know that.
All right, so they chase and corner Dorothy into a corner. Just happens to be down the corner with a wall, a dead end with a wall with a lock in it. And guess what? Dorothy's got the key.
No way. How are the odds, CJ, of that?
Well, to be fair, the Scarecrow sent that key to her on a shooting star.
What are the odds?
He knew that she would need that key in order to get it in there to get her next companion.
Did you just hear what you just said, TJ? The Scarecrow sent a shooting star of a key to this child from a distant land. And he figured this child would end up in Oz after seeing the key, that would get all this would happen. And then she would get attacked by Wheelers, which will lead her down this convenient hallway with this one door.
Well, I didn't say that. I just assumed she would get to the Emerald City, have this key, find the locked door, and then maybe use it. The Wheelers are just happen to be there.
How many locked doors must there be?
Look,
and this one's a hidden one too. So what are the odds?
It was down a side street.
Yeah, but this girl wouldn't have gone here by herself without being chased.
Why not? If she had time to explore.
She explored the house she was used to going to. That's her old house. Like, I used to go here and here.
Because she discovered that the Yellow Brick Road was destroyed and she was worried about the Emerald City.
I would rather be more fascinated.
The Munchkins are massacred there. She can't help them.
I mean, there's no evidence of them ever existing there, so... She could have gone to her old house and like, hey, it's my old toy or some shit. I know I would have as a kid. Like, hey, my old house. Holy shit. Yeah, so yeah, I just found that like really like, wow, this is really convenient.
Maybe she was afraid to go in there because if everything else is destroyed, what makes her think that the Wicked Witch didn't come back to life and is in there waiting for her?
Well, she knows how to kill the Wicked Witch though. Water.
That one, but the one she crushed with the house might have not died from water.
I thought, hold on. Wait, it's not the same.
There's a different witch.
So there must be four witches, right? Yeah. Glenda's the one from the north?
There's the Good Witch of the North, and I think there's a Good Witch of the South, and there's a Wicked Witch of the East and the West. And Dorothy's house fell on the Wicked Witch of the West. I think, or is it East? I
think West, because the Wicked Witch of the East is one of the main ones. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But so she landed her house on the Wicked Witch of the West.
Huh.
And that's why the Wicked Witch of the East in the original movies really mad at her, because she killed her sister.
So where's the other good... Where's the other good witch at then?
I don't remember.
This is Ozma? Is Ozma the other one?
No, Ozma is the ruler of Oz, technically, I think.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Wow, the mind's blown. I just thought that was the same witch and she was actually alive the whole time. And she wanted her ruby slippers. Again, I saw that movie one time when I was a kid. This isn't that good.
But yeah, no, that was a different witch altogether. That's why she was mad.
Mind blown. Holy shit. Maybe I don't hate that movie. Who knows?
Anyway, back to this movie. Dorothy uses a key and escapes in there away from the Wheelers. And inside, she finds a wind-up man. I was trying to figure out. I was going to say Tin Man, but he's not tin. He's not the Tin Man. He's brass and stuff, but that didn't sound right either. But he is a wind-up man, so... And this wind-up man is named Tick-Tock, the Royal Army of Oz.
He does TikTok dances throughout the whole movie. That's what I imagined every time I saw him. I heard his name.
You're such a millennial.
I don't have TikTok.
So, essentially, Tick-Tock is a robot who is he's a fighter, I guess. He's a soldier.
A warrior.
But he's got 3 different wind-ups. One for his thinking, his brain. One for speaking, which was odd, and one for action. You would think, why would speaking be different than anything else?
Why would you have a robot they have to wind up all the time? That's just fundamentally flawed no matter what. I don't care what, that's just fundamentally flawed.
What happens if he goes insane and evil? Then he can be stopped when he, winds down.
Not really. I feel like... Is he the only one of his type?
Well, yeah, he's the Royal Army of Oz.
I thought there was more of him. That's why it's an army.
No, he is the Royal Army.
Oh, that's so stupid. That's so stupid.
I don't know if that's what happens. I don't remember if it's the same thing in the books, but I know he's a character in the books. TikTok.
Okay.
I don't remember if he's the only one of his kind. No, I don't remember that part.
Yeah, in my mind, I thought there was like more of him, and he's just dismantled him
No.
or some shit. Like,
You didn't get the joke? He's the Royal Army of Oz.
no, I got that, but like, there must be like, I thought he was just referencing there's other ones like me who've been gone.
No, he is
That's
the Royal Army.
Terrible, stupid.
That's why when they get to the Gnome King's mountain, she says, "I brought my arm."
God damn it! God damn it! God damn it!
Told you, this is a cohesive, full story movie.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's there. You just gotta look for it.
No, everything. It's just I hate this character. Like I just hate that. I've always hated like I'll go wind up all the time. Like this seems so. I would never bring you along on an adventure.
Well,
we did have that one character in D&D, didn't we? That had that issue. God damn you, Justin! Did you watch this and like take that? You remember that character?
No, I actually don't.
Was that What was that campaign? Yeah.
I don't remember a wind-up character.
He was the MP.
Oh, the clockwork
Yeah, remember?
guy. Yeah, I don't know if he wound down though.
He did. No, it wasn't as frequent as this guy, but we had to. We somehow got a bat. Why are we talking about this? We somehow made a battery for him, or got a battery. We either like wished it or had someone make it for him.
I don't remember.
But yeah, TikTok. I'm not a fan. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, TikTok. He's just there so he can. Every one of his things can wind down at certain points.
Yes,
but it's important, his wind downs, because it comes back later.
No, it does. It does.
Like at certain points in the movie, he does wind down. I don't think I brought it down in my notes where, but he loses his speaking at one point, his thinking at one point, and his action at one point.
Yes, ability.
Yeah, but we'll get. But those are important. Those three things for the climax of the movie. The climax in quotation marks. So she winds up TikTok, and he says, "Oh, you're Dorothy? Scarecrow put me in here." Scarecrow's the king of Oz, by the way. Now,
what the f is Scarecrow?
I don't know, but he kind of does take on that role in the books and every other lore that I've seen. Yeah. I don't know why. Because I guess he's got a brain now, and he's the smartest person now.
So he's the one with the brain. Courage is the one with courage, and Tin Man with the heart.
Courage is the one with the courage.
You know what I meant? Yeah, he was afraid of shit. And so, but why not Tin Man? Why Scarecrow? I thought that was weird. Why did one of those three?
Because he's got the brains. Yeah, that's what he was missing when they went.
But like, did they give him like Einstein's brain or some shit? Like,
kind of, yeah.
It's kind of f***ed. And I get my courage back, but this guy's a f***ing genius. Well, I should be leading the army. He's not this f***ing robot. My heart. I should be like the biggest heart. I should be like the most generous. Whatever. The
smartest people rule.
Do they though?
Isn't that how it works? Anyway, she winds up TikTok, and he's gonna serve her because Scarecrow said, Dorothy's gonna show up someday. And he waited, and then he wound down and lost everything, and he woke up, and that's all he knows. He doesn't know why. He does explain that the Gnome King took over everything, and everyone was turned into stone.
Do we know how long this has been going on for?
No, they don't say.
I mean, it must have been a while, because everything's disheveled and shit, so I was just curious.
Well, it's weird, because it looks like if Dorothy is like being told she's insane by her aunt and uncle, you would think it's relatively soon after she got back.
Well, okay, let me rephrase that, because I know in her world, it's been a few months. They mentioned that. Is that the same timeline in Oz?
I don't know. I don't know if time passes differently in Oz.
Okay.
It could be years for all we know, because
like a Narnia kind of thing.
Yeah, because it's like they're like scarecrows and stuff. So who knows how the aging processing works?
Exactly, but I know. And early in the movie, she said it's been a few months. You should be over this shit by now.
Right, but that's in the real world.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess it's possible the Gnome King took over in a few months, considering what he had, so...
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I was just curious.
All right, so now she's got TikTok. She gives TikTok her extra lunch pail, and they go out, and TikTok beats up the Wheelers.
Yeah, this clunky little thing. Granted, they're Wheelers, and they're just... push them over, they're probably down for the count.
Yeah. And so the team beats up the Wheelers, and they take one prisoner. He says, "Who's in charge here?" That tells me what happened. And they direct them to, what is it, what was her name? Mobley?
Yeah, the person. The queen?
Yeah.
Where she is?
Her name, forget her name off the top of my head. Mombi.
Yeah, Mombi.
Mombi, the Princess of Oz, the Gnome King's, I guess, second in command.
Yes.
And Mombi lives in this tower. And when Dorothy comes across her, she's like playing a lute, and she's like, "Come with me, Dorothy." And Dorothy just like, "Okay." Dorothy just goes along with everything.
Yeah, she doesn't really question things. Well, she does, I guess, but she doesn't like resist.
I mean, she's an 8-year girl. What you gonna do?
I'm not looking for the right word. I'm not saying the right word. She doesn't.
Yeah, and it's just she's always polite to everybody.
Yeah.
And she's just like,
There's no
she
depth.
does she trusts up until the point where she's in danger.
Yes.
And then she runs away.
Which I guess is a kid thing to do, I assume.
Yeah.
Because why would you harm a child? So I get it, I guess.
Right. So Mombi takes Dorothy to this hallway filled of decapitated heads.
So weird. It's so
And-
eerie visually, but it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, and then she opens up one of the case and puts the head she has onto a stand and picks up a new head and puts it on.
Yeah, because the decapitated heads are still alive and active. They like look and move and shit like that. It's very
Yeah.
Harry Potter-esque. It's very cool. It's very like, wow.
She changes heads like hats,
Yes.
essentially. And apparently they're different people too, because they have different memories and stuff, as we learn in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Which again, like you saw the statues earlier who didn't have heads, so put two and two together.
Yeah, because that's my point.
Yeah.
Mombi took their heads. And that's what she's going to do with Dorothy eventually, because she's like, first she insults her by saying, you're not really beautiful, but you got a kind of prettiness to you.
Mm-hmm.
But she says, you're going to grow up to be pretty. You know what? I'm going to lock you in a tower, and when you grow up, I'm going to take your head. That's dark.
It's very dark.
She locks Dorothy and Bellina in a room.
Well, first the tin guy, TikTok is going to
Well,
fight.
I was about to get to
Oh,
that.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
TikTok tries to stop them, but before he can, his action runs out. Oh no, he can't help anymore. The fight in the Wheelers wound him down faster than he thought.
And that's why he's so fucking useless.
But to be fair, he's the only one that can fight. So.
Yeah, that's why he's so flawed and useless. The only thing we have to get like a fight, let's make it so cumbersome to have him around.
Well, if he was just this warrior who could just defeat everything, nothing would happen in this movie. The day would be saved in 3 seconds.
Give him something else. Like, okay, he likes to eat candy or something, so he gets like that's his vice. Not he's got winds down and everything. Like, I just would hate to be around this guy.
You just don't like the idea of all the work it would take.
Yeah, it's just unnecessary
him
work. Like, this guy fucking sucks.
This guy's too high maintenance for me.
You're really high maintenance.
Man, I gotta turn this knob every few hours. Jeez.
Yeah, it's like God damn it. Not one knob, 3 knobs. 3. I wouldn't mind 1, but 3? That's excessive, guys. Come on, who designed this dude? I
Probably
feel
the
that's a
Scarecrow.
torturous life to live.
He seems to like his lifelessness. He's not alive.
Think about it. Like, okay, I exist and Tin Man exists, and Tin Man has none of this shit. What the f? Like, why he's got nothing to wind up
He
on?
likes that he's not alive.
What?
He likes that he's not alive.
Is
He
Tin Man not?
values
Tin Man's not alive, I guess, right?
No,
Oh, that's right. He was.
TikTok.
That's right. God, it's morbid.
TikTok says that multiple times. He enjoys not being alive.
No. I thought the other guy wasn't alive too.
Oh no, Tin Man was alive
Yeah.
until he
yeah.
got turned into tin and replaced all his body parts with tin. He's essentially a cyborg.
Oh my God. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
All right. So Dorothy's locked in a tower, and she comes across a new companion, Jack Pumpkinhead.
Oh God.
So Jack Pumpkinhead's essentially just a scarecrow with a pumpkin head,
Yep.
and he was made apparently by Ozma to scare Mombi when he was just not alive. And apparently it worked, but then she got mad, and then she broke him to pieces and threw him in a room. And then she got bored one day and decided to sprinkle this powder of life. I forget what it's actually called. Powder of life is what it's called. Powder of life that she got from this magician to see if it works on the pumpkin, and it brought him back to life.
That was the story they
Brought him
told
to
us. That they told us all that in the movie.
Yeah,
Holy shit! That's a
that was all that.
that's a backstory right there. Wow.
Yeah, he explains all that except who his mother is, because we find out who his mom is at the end of the movie.
Yeah, he's looking for his mom. I hate this character.
And Jack Pumpkinhead is very weird because he asked Dorothy if she could be his mom.
Yeah, and he calls her mommy. That's the whole thing, right?
He calls her mom throughout the whole thing. Yeah,
Creepy. It's really
you know
creepy.
I hate that I'm going to say this because it's a little mean, but
Oh God.
when Jack asks Dorothy that question, when Dorothy smiles, nod, I was creeped out.
It's very creeped out.
I was like, "Whoa, that's a creepy smile."
It's a creepy smile for a creepy question. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Anyway, so now she's got Jack Pumpkinhead, she ties all his limbs back on because apparently they were broken off. sentences you speak when covering movies like this.
Yeah, seriously.
And so now they sneak out of the tower because Jack's got long arms. He can unlock the door from the outside. And they go to wind up TikTok. And Dorothy has a plan. She tells TikTok...
Oh my god. He's C-3PO and TikTok's R2.
No, I don't get that.
No, you don't see it?
No, because...
And this is Princess Leia. This is my fan fiction right here. No wonder George Lucas wanted to help out.
I didn't get that. Honestly, if we're being truthful, if it is like that, George Lucas stole from this because this stuff was all in books beforehand.
Well, he's notorious for taking shit from things, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, so he probably did. So, just to be fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, so TikTok and Jack Pumpkinhead and Belina are upstairs putting furniture together. Weird. Meanwhile, Dorothy's going to steal the Mombi's key because all of her heads are locked in cases, and she uses this key to unlock it. And in one of the cases, her original head, which I think is the evil nurse from the...
Yes.
So, but in that cabinet with her original head is all of her collection she's got, which is the Powder of Life. So Dorothy steals the key, unlocks it, and goes to go out and wakes up the head. And probably one of the scariest scenes in the movie where all the heads start screaming.
This is the part I slept through, so I don't remember any of this.
Really?
Yes.
You should go back and just watch that scene.
I'm watching it right now. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, because, watch it with the sound on, because they're just screaming at Dorothy. All these decapitated heads.
God, that's so cool. They sleep. That's so weird.
They all sleep at the same time, too.
Yeah.
So, Dorothy steals the Powder of Life, and, Mombi's headless and doesn't have her key, so she has to smash the thing to get into her thing. Meanwhile, the guys upstairs were trying to build a makeshift thing with, like, a deer head, which is called a gump.
Yeah, I woke up and they were flying on this thing. What the f*** did I miss? And they kept explaining, yeah, she built this. Like, what?
Yeah, so they built this thing out of, like, sofa and, like, leaves and, like, giant palm tree leaves and stuff like this. But as they're building it, because they were being directed by TikTok stinking runs down, and so they don't complete it. Dorothy goes, "It's not done yet, God!" And then they sprinkle the Powder of Life on all the, like, on the leaves, which are his wings, and on the head, and they bring the Gump to life, who can fly.
They bring this decapitated dead thing that was stuffing the whatever back to life. That's just, God, talk about existential crises these people must have had in this movie.
So, yeah. And actually, at one point, when they're flying away, the Gump says, "Yeah, I was just wandering through the forest one day, and then I heard a noise, and then I woke up and I was ahead."
Yeah. Like, I like him a lot. See, that the potion of life, the Powder of Life, that's a terrible thing to have, like, to exist.
Yeah, it brought two of the characters to life.
Yeah, it's like, no, that should not exist.
Like, actually, there's another dark moment when Dorothy's talking to Jack Pumpkinhead, and Jack's like, "Can you check my head to see if it's spoiling?"
Yeah.
It's like I want to see the world before my head spoils. It's like,
awful. This is awful. This is... No, these things should not be alive.
So, yeah.
And does it only reanimate things or give things life that have a face? Because if I sprinkle on the bed, does the bed turn alive or no?
Well, anytime she reattaches the head to any piece of it, it's alive.
God, it's so freaky.
Anyhow.
So if I draw a picture and I sprinkle some dust, will that picture come alive?
I think the paper would come to life, and you would use the picture to, like, speak and stuff.
So maybe a sculpture.
Yeah, a sculpture would definitely come back to life, yes.
God. What about a mirror? How would that play out, you think? With just the reflections? Or you think the whole mirror would have its own, like...
I think the mirror would come to life, and it would use any reflection to communicate.
That'd be f***ing really cool.
Anyway, can I get back to the story?
I just want to know the limitations to that powder. That's all.
So, all right. They bring the Gump to life. They get in. Mombi's chasing them. And then I guess they push the Gump out the window through a stone balcony. And that's this heavy couch-looking thing is able to fly them away.
Because that's your question. That's what your question. The couch flying.
It's not aerodynamically sound.
But the Powder of Life, the Gump coming. The Gumps fly. Like this thing should be screaming its whole existence from here on out. Like
Anyway, this makes Mombi mad, so she goes tells the Wheelers, go get them. And so the Wheelers chase after them up until they get to the Deadly Desert, where a few of the Wheelers fall into the Deadly Desert and turn to sand and die.
Yeah. Kind of morbid.
So you want to stay away from the Deadly Desert.
Yes. I at this point, I forgot, like, the second they came on screen, the Wheelers are like, man, I want the Flying Monkeys back. Because they were more fun and entertaining to me.
I mean, like, I think they were going for more visually disturbing for things.
I don't know, man. The Flying Monkeys could have been...
Flying Monkeys are a little tame in this day and age.
You think so?
And I also think they tried to not copy the original movie as much as they could.
Yeah. No, I understood that. Yeah. I just wanted to see those. That's all.
I mean, there's just some things you need from the original movies that they put in it. I think they actually did a really good job with adapting a sequel and staying true to the original while telling their own story.
Oh, they did phenomenal. They did a phenomenal job. Like, they didn't spit in its face. They weren't tongue in cheek about it. They weren't like, hey, let's copy and paste it. They took what was there and he's just like, yeah, we're gonna do this for them. Like, I think they did a great job with it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of movies should take notes on this movie, in my opinion.
They definitely homaged the first one while doing their own thing.
Yes. And it felt original and fresh. I did thoroughly enjoy that. Because I hate sequels that, like, let's do the same thing the first one did. Like, no.
There's also, the movie does feel fresh because there's not a lot of tropes in it that, like, besides, the kid tropes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of originality to the movie.
There really is. Like, I'll say, I didn't hate this movie at all. Like, I was like,
right.
this is not, I was tired through it because I was just watching a little sleepy. But, like, besides that, it's a generally good movie.
Yeah, I really liked this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I remember liking the movie, and I just didn't remember if it was genuine or not, if it was just nostalgic. But no, I came out of it, like, I thought it was a little kiddie, but I did come out still liking the movie a lot.
Yeah, yes. Compared to the last two movies I had to watch for this.
Hey, Willow was good.
Compared to the last 8 movies we had to do for this shit we were doing, this is what I'm looking for. For the most part.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Compared to the theme months that we
yes.
a really bad set of movies.
Compared to our what's the last good movie besides Willow?
We have good movies.
Exactly. So yeah, this is refreshing. This is like, okay, I'm cool with this.
Yeah, because it's good and it's competent.
Yes.
And competency has been lacking in a lot of
Oh my God. Seriously. Like, I get why that's why those awards exist. Like, hey, you made a competent film that had an ending. here's a little gold guy. Thank you. Like, okay, now I get it. Because goddamn, how hard to write a story?
Harder than you think, but everybody thinks they can do it. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Anyways,
so yeah, they got away from Mombi. Wheelers die, and they're flying towards the Gnome King's mountain because I guess Mombi had mentioned the Gnome King. Oh no, they found out from TikTok about the Gnome King, and they know he's behind everything. So I guess she's going to go there and ask him politely to stop because that's kind of what happens. But we'll get to that in a moment. So they're flying through the air, and Dorothy's tired, and she falls asleep. I bring it up because it's the first time she's slept in apparently months.
Oh wow!
It took her going back to Oz and experiencing all of this to finally, get over the not being able to sleep thing.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah. So they're flying through, and in the morning, the Gump was not built very well, and he starts to fall apart in the sky, and they fall out of the sky. No. Literally, they all crash into the ground.
I was kind of surprised by this. And they all die, so then they're moving.
Well, no. That's the thing, though. So, the couch of the Gump falls, and Dorothy lands on that.
She's dead, yes.
I mean, that's a little... It's suspension of disbelief and
she's
whatnot.
Dead. If that's the secret to the living of plane crash, and damn it, I'm going to make sure that chair comes with me.
To be fair, we don't know how high they were and how high that mountain is. TJ. It could have been 10 feet.
TJ.
I'm just saying.
The science to that. I'm not bringing science into this movie. I'm not doing that. What am I talking about? Sure, why not?
But everyone else is like inanimate. So
yeah, it doesn't matter. If she dies, throw the potion of life back on her. She's going to come back to life. God, she's up. Oh my God.
She's a zombie now.
Holy shit.
Anyway, so the Gump falls and lands. TikTok falls on his head. He's upside down. And then, I forgot. While they were flying, Jack's head fell off. So they told the Gump to try to turn. He's like, he's not designed for turning. So they try to go down, and that's when everything falls apart.
Yeah.
And so his body lands, and then his pumpkin lands on his head upside down. And they don't show them ever putting it right side back up. So
Yeah, they don't. That's kind of weird.
weird. Anyway, whatever. But they're at the Gnome King's mountain, and they see the Gnome King. He forms himself in the rock, like the face from earlier, and Dorothy politely asks him, hey, give the Scarecrow back and restore everything. He's like, well, all the gems are mine because they were taken from the mountains and stuff because, I guess I own all the mountains.
Which I get. No, that's a very valid thing, though, in my opinion.
What, that they stole the emeralds from him?
If that's truly the claim, that's truly factual, then yeah, he deserves it all.
I mean, the mountain, there was a lot of emeralds in this mountain, but who's to say they got it from this mountain?
He is. Like, why would he lie about that? I mean, he's the bad guy, so like, I get that. But museums exist off of stolen shit from like tribes and shit.
To be fair, Dorothy brings up a good point. It's not like, who knows how long the Emerald City was built? The Scarecrow didn't steal the emeralds.
Scarecrow may not have stolen it, so he should not be victim.
But for all we know, the Emerald City was built 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, but off of stolen goods.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you could go to the Emerald City and turn everyone to stone and kill everybody, massacre the Munchkins.
Don't genocide anyone for sure. Don't do that.
I'm just saying.
Don't genocide. But
they don't say he went there and asked for the emeralds back.
Well,
they
exactly.
said say he went there and destroyed everything.
But this is where the semantics for me come in. Like, yeah, he came and destroyed things, but like, how many times did he try to get it back? Did he ever try to get it back?
Probably not.
Was he gaslit and shut down? No, this always been here. You I get he wants his things back, and I people take things from people, ancients, and the museums exist.
We also
give this shit back to people, so that's what I get from he's coming from.
But at the same time, we also learned that he's super greedy and super hoardery, and maybe it doesn't belong to him at all, and he just really wanted those emeralds.
Maybe it doesn't, but just from what he's saying...
There's too much unknown.
There is.
For you to make a valid argument here.
But at the same time, on your side too, there's so much unknown.
But I think
his argument holds just as much water as everyone else's arguments. But I'm just saying,
you can't punish people who clearly did not do the crime for things
I agree with that.
That is, which he did.
I agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. So I wish there should be a movie, maybe. They dive deeper into this shit. No, don't make that movie.
No, but I'm sure they kind of dive into all that in the books.
Yes.
Go read the books.
Yes. But I'm just saying, if he's making those claims are truthful, he may have overreacted, but I think it's kind of justified in a way.
And to be fair, I don't think the Gnome King actually destroys the Emerald City in the books because this is 2 books crammed together.
Okay.
This is based on the Marvelous Land of Oz and Ozma of Oz books.
Okay.
And yeah, I know one of them has the Gnome King in it. I just don't know which one it is. To be fair though, I did read these books. I just don't remember.
No, I believe you. I'm just saying, he's making a valid point. If that's his shit or his ancestors, if that's his territorial shit, or stolen from him.
I'm just gonna point out this is a 1980s dark fantasy movie, and there were no shades of gray in these movies. There's good, there's evil. He's clearly the evil one. He's clearly not have any justification. Anyway, so Gnome King's pretty much like, hey, stealing's wrong, right? And she's like, yeah. So they stole from me, right? And she's like, yeah. No, actually, he says, stealing's wrong. I stole. Too bad. You're out of luck.
No, pretty much that. But he also says, you should return what's taken from you, right? And she's like, yeah. Well, I wanted my shit back, so I got it.
But she says, Scarecrow didn't take it from him.
Again, valid. Can't argue that.
So, and then he's like, fine. I mean, what are you gonna do? Then he's like, what are you gonna do about it, Dorothy? He's like, I'm gonna force you to with my army. And he just laughs at her. And then he creates an earthquake and causes her to fall into the mountain in a really bad green screen emerald kind of thing.
Yeah, very bad. Limitations.
It is what
yeah, not to hold it against it.
1985, whatever.
Exactly. If this was now, we would whoa, what happens?
Yeah, that was terrible. For the time, it's not bad. It is what it is. And she ends up down there with the Gnome King. Well, actually, first she lands and the Scarecrow's there. But oh no, he disappears. And then the Gnome King's there and we get to see the Gnome King in all his glory.
It's a big rock guy.
Yeah. So that was just makeup, right?
The last part of him, yes. The other parts, no.
Yeah, I mean the one where they actually show him sit in his.
Yeah, that's just makeup and heavy lots of shit on top of him. Yeah.
It looks good.
It does. But besides around the eyes, besides that, it looks pretty good.
All right, so he's there and Dorothy's like, "Where's this girl?" He's like, "I turned him into an ornament." She's like, "What?" "Yeah, he's an ornament now in my collection." "Oh, okay. Don't worry, I'll bring your friends down." So he brings his friends down, so she's not alone. He's like, "All right. I can turn you on in ornaments now, but we're going to play a game. Each of you can go into my ornament room and have 3 guesses. If you guess which one, if you touch a thing and say Oz and it's a Scarecrow, he'll come back to life. And if you're wrong, well, he doesn't tell them, but if they're wrong, they get turned into an ornament too."
No.
I remember this distinctly from the books, this whole scenario.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. This is, I think this is torn almost word for word from the book, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, this kind of stuff seems like it comes from a book. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, but this is the climax. Really nothing. It's just them guessing.
Yeah.
So he sends the Gump in first, the guess. But we don't see what's happening. We're outside with the rest of the characters. And, they're eating limestone cakes.
You know why they don't show us what's happening in there?
Why?
Because how the is the Gump touching something and saying Oz?
Oh, they explain it. He's like, the Gump says, "How am I supposed to do it? I don't have any arms." And the Numpkin says, "Use your antlers."
That's not, no. That limits his choices by so much.
I don't think the Numpkin cares about fairness.
Doesn't. Hey, he doesn't, obviously. He's going to withhold the big dramatic, "Oh yeah, by the way, if you don't get it right, you're going to die," kind of thing.
Yeah, so I don't think he cares about that.
Yeah.
So, they're eating cakes, and he almost fed them melted silver.
I love that.
So, when he says that, Dorothy pushes his cup away. It's just like, "Here you go."
But yeah, she eats the food, and that's emerald shit's in there.
Yeah, but that's melted silver, and it's steaming.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just going to say this because this whole scenario is intersected with Mombi trying to get to the Gnome King and they explained that the chicken's with them.
That's why she's sending. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought, why is she doing this? Okay.
Because I didn't mention, but at this point, Billina's hidden inside of Jack Pumpkin's head.
She went in there before he fell, I think, right?
Yeah. And she just never left. So she's been hidden for which is a good thing because she's gone for this whole section.
Yes.
Anyway, so after,
which is weird because she talks like the whole movie. So now she wants to be quiet, huh?
Well, she's hiding.
And then, no, not gonna ask that question. Okay.
So we hear thunder every time that the Gump makes a choice and he's wrong. And on the third mischoice, lightning strikes and he doesn't come out. And the Gnome King says, "Okay, Pumpkinhead, you're next." You're like, "Where's the Gump?" "Oh," this is where he tells them, "You mess up, you're an ornament." "Oh, okay."
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, so that's not fair. And he's like, "I don't care if it's fair." So Pumpkinhead goes in, and he obviously messes up. So he gets turned into an ornament. And then TikTok goes in, and
before he goes in, he has her wind up his brain?
Yeah, his brain, so that he can think,
Yeah.
So he goes in there, and apparently he makes 2 choices, but then stops. And then the Gnome King's follower comes over and says, "He just stopped in there." And Dorothy's, "Oh, I forgot to wind up his action." Gnome King's, "All right, go and wind him up and make your choices." And when she goes in there, TikTok is playing, "My actions wasn't wind down. I just wanted you to come in, and so when I make the wrong choice, you can find out what I pick." It's actually a smart plan.
It's extremely smart. Yeah. Because in my notes, I wrote down, "Oh, this guy's really useless." She goes in and says that thing. I was like, damn, that was really clever. Me and my notes.
So yeah, it was. But yeah, TikTok.
Also, I'm sorry. Before she goes in, the Gnome King reveals he's got the ruby slippers on.
Oh, right. So she's going to go in, and he's like, "Oh, I got these," and she's, "Oh, my ruby slippers." And he's like, "Nope, they're mine. When you left, they fell into my lap from the sky. You left behind." I guess that's how that works.
Yeah, finders keepers.
Yeah. So he got it, and he's like, "I can send you home right now. You don't have to go in there and make any choices."
And me being me, like, yeah, them. I would definitely do that.
Yeah, but this is essentially an 8-year goal with her imaginary best friends.
I don't know. Well, yeah, no, that's fair. Because I was going to say, me in real life at 8 years old, been sent deuces, but going through all this shit, like, I gotta stay, I guess.
Also, if you think about it, I don't think she has any real friends because on that farm, she looks like she's isolated and she's talking to a chicken and a dog.
That's so sad. That's depressing.
I'm just saying. So
That's really depressing.
if you look at it from that
Everyone
point
thinks
of view,
she's crazy because she's technically, she's an isolated, crazy kid.
Uh-huh.
No one's ever going to believe. Oh, man.
Exactly. So
She's going to turn to drugs probably. If they, oh, that's sad.
I mean,
When she gets to high school.
or a mental institution.
Yeah, she's going to have a really dark adolescence, teenage years and shit like that.
I mean, unless it depends on how you look at it. It's like if this is all real
Mhm.
and she's going back to Oz and stuff, everything, she can eventually just say, "F it, I'm staying here.
Yeah,
I'm not going home." But if this is all in her head, then yeah, you're right.
which I like to believe. I don't be depressing about it. I would like to believe it's real. And she's going to say, I'm going here from now on, which would be nice. But that's how long, like at what age do you think she'll properly run away and like not feel guilt about that part?
I don't know. Maybe she, when she's old enough to live on her own, she'll decide to go ahead and just come back and visit.
So that's a long time.
Not necessarily. Not if she just pops out every so often.
But how should she pop out though? Usually by some weird. The first time she gets there is by the
Yeah,
tornado. The second time she gets knocked
If I
out.
remember correctly, I don't remember if it was from the books or some other stories. I do remember Ozma has the power to bring her back and forth.
Okay,
So
because
now
if
that
that's the
Ozma-
case, that's good.
I think Ozma has the power to do that. So now
Yeah.
that Ozma's back in charge, she could just say, keep, popping her back and forth if she needs to.
Okay, that's fair. Then that's the case. That's totally fine.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it is, but
Did they ever make this to a TV show? Because there's so much shit you could do with this.
I don't know if they... Oh, I'm sure there's some kind of TV something.
There has to be. There's so much you could do with Oz.
There's so many adaptations of The Wizard of Oz. You know.
Yeah. Anyways.
I know there's a lot of comics, though, like I said earlier.
Oh, for
A
sure.
lot of
Sure.
comics.
Because it's just rife for like, yeah, do what you want with this shit, guys. It's like literally like a kind of like a multiverse kind of thing. Yeah, do what you want. It's all possible. Sure, why not?
So Dorothy goes in. TikTok makes his last pick. It's wrong.
He
but
cries.
He does cry before he makes his pick. And
He cries blood. No, it's oil.
actually, it's kind of some kind of green sludge. But
Yeah, I assumed it was oil, but who the f- knows?
it's the essence of Munchkins. Anyway,
Maybe the Munchkins are all the things inside. Nah, there's too much. Not enough things to be Munchkins in there. Who knows? Yeah, sorry.
and no, from what we learn about the ornaments, it's not possible.
Maybe the Gnome King made the Munchkins walk through the desert and just turn to sand.
Possibly.
Kind of like a Trail of Tears, but a trail of sand.
Or maybe Mombi experimented with them, and that's where the Wheelers came from.
Ooh.
Anyway,
Yeah, anyways.
we have our own little side stories going on now. TikTok makes his last pick and disappears, but he doesn't. They don't he doesn't show Dorothy what he turns into. He just, I guess, what happened? The thunder strike and it went dark for a moment.
Like lightning, like it was bright for a second, so she couldn't see.
So now she's got her 3 picks, and as she's trying to pick, Mombi shows up and it's like she never tells him about the chicken.
Yeah, you
Because-
think she's like she was so adamant about that. You think that'd be
But
the first thing she would say?
I think she tried, but he's like, kneel lower, and he kind of was too arrogant to let her speak.
Yeah, but like I was just like chicken. You got chicken.
Yeah, I mean,
How hard is
but
that? Come on.
Eventually, the Gnome King puts her in a cage.
Why?
Symbolism for the end.
I mean, yeah, that too. But like,
That's exactly why.
what are their relations to each other? What are like? He's the king.
Yeah, and she's
What's
the
she to him?
princess. She's the princess.
Nombi?
Mombi, yeah, princess.
Not
of
Mombi.
Oz.
Okay.
She's
So why is he a
his-
dick to her then?
Because he's an arrogant prick who just doesn't. He sees her nothing more than a servant as a means to an end.
Yeah. And to what? He already won essentially, right? Before all
Yeah.
this even happened.
But in case Dorothy shows back up, which they all thought she would, and she did.
Shows up. He knows she has a chicken with her.
Well, they don't.
He sees no. Initially he knows there's a chicken with her, but now there's no chicken with her, so he can fuck with her all he wants.
Yes.
Okay.
And so while all that's happening with Mombi and Numpkin, Dorothy makes her picks. She misses the first 2, and then she just closes her eyes and spins in a circle and just randomly goes to choose something. She picks up something, knocks over an emerald, puts down the thing she was going to choose, and picks up the emerald. So she got lucky, is what
Very
we're saying
lucky.
here. Picks up the emerald and says Oz, and hey, it's a scarecrow. And we learned that everybody who was turned into the ornament from Oz turns into something green.
Yes.
So
Because emeralds are green?
emeralds, I guess. Yeah, I guess that was basically it. So she gets the Scarecrow back. And this pisses off the Gnome King.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's it. We're done. And so she brings back Jack and the Gump. Not TikTok, though.
Yeah,
and
TikTok.
Then the ground starts shaking and there's a giant earthquake. And then we get, like, very terrifying claymation Gnome King.
Yeah, very horrific. Like, this guy's going to murder
like,
everyone.
He's rising out of hellfire. And he picks up the Gump's, like, couch body. And he's going to eat the Gump. But they manage to pull the Gump's head off. And he eats the Gump's chair.
So good.
And then he's going to eat Jack Pumpkinhead, but they all run away. But eventually he catches Jack, and he's about to eat Jack. But oh no, this scares Billina so much he lays an egg, and the egg falls down the giant Gnome King's throat. And guess what? Eggs are poisonous to gnomes, and that's why they don't like chickens, allow chickens in Oz.
He had an allergic reaction.
Yeah, he died of anaphylactic shock.
Yes. He didn't have his EpiPen with him or anything.
To be fair, how else were they going to kill? There is no other. They're literally, they did nothing but run away from everything in this entire movie. There is no real warriors. The only warrior they had is an ornament somewhere. Everyone else was kind of, all they could do was run. So.
Yeah, and I guess, like, I'm not angry at that. Like, you're right. Like, yeah, sure, chicken, egg, whatever. I wish it was more, like, foretelling. I'm glad it wasn't on the nose. So, like, oh, that's weird, but okay. I just, like you said, they always ran. So, like, this isn't...
And technically, they were still running.
Yeah, they were planning to get out of there.
When he grabbed Jack Pumpkinhead. It just so happened Billina was in Jack Pumpkinhead's head, and they managed to kill him.
That's my thing. I was just too, like, oh. I mean, I guess the same thing with the Wicked Witch, right? Like, she was just lucky to have water thrown on her.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can't be too angry at that. Like,
It's an accidental thing. And I think that's probably the symmetry with the Wicked Witch, too.
Yeah.
You know?
It's on par for Wizard of Oz. Accidental killing of the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, Dorothy is a little girl. She's not going to actually kill someone.
No. And there's no warriors. Like you said, there's no hero of knight in shining armor in this movie, so I get it.
Anyway, so the Gnome King's dead. They save. Everything is... And so Dorothy picks up the ruby slippers and uses them to restore everything. The Emerald City, all the people, even the decapitated dancers.
And just people coming back to life, I think they should be terrified.
So, I mean, to be fair, with the exception of the headless things, they were just turned to stone, so...
Fair. Yeah, Tin Man's back. Everyone's back.
And yeah, you got Tin Man, you got the Cowardly Lion. And though they look very puppety, all these characters, they're not bad. It feels like a stylized version of what the characters were in the original.
I hated the designs of these characters. That being said, it did feel stylized. It felt like being at an amusement park. You see those big kind of mascots. They felt like mascots.
You know what?
I didn't care for it. I liked the older Wizard of Oz people in costume kind of shit like that. More humanoids.
You know what? And this will probably explain the design of this behind the scenes things that we didn't mention. Disney spent $6 million on advertising to promote it, as well as adding a Return to Oz float, including characters which appeared in the thing. So these were definitely from the float thing.
Yes, they were planning for this to be so successful they could add this to Disney World. Hey, go to the Wizard of Oz section, guys.
Yeah. So
and I probably would have gone to that shit too. Like, yeah.
So, but yeah, the day save we got a really Star Wars ending though.
It really was. It really was. I'm telling you, George Lucas was like, I need to make this movie. This is great.
So like, there's everyone's celebrating. TikTok's all bronze and like shiny now, and
everyone's getting medals.
Everyone's getting medals and stuff. Oh, by the way, Dorothy used the emerald.
Oh my god, he is bronze. Holy shit, I didn't pick up on that. That's ridiculous. This is Star Wars. Holy shit. He made a bronze. Oh, what was wrong? Okay.
Are you done?
You know, I'll give you this, TJ. Your picks make me laugh all the time, so I'll give you that. To the dumb horses and these dumb bronze guy.
I forgot to mention, she used the ruby slippers to get them out of the mountain, but they never got TikTok. But oh, look, a green medal was on the Gump, and they bring TikTok back. And then it's the, celebration and stuff. And as they're celebrating, they're all like, Dorothy, you should be the Queen of Oz. Queen of Oz. But she's like, I can't. I'm not staying here. I gotta go home.
I'm 8 years old, guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she looks in the mirror and, hey, look, her reflection's that girl from earlier. And, she goes over to her and she's like, hey, help me through this mirror. She's like, okay. And so they come to the mirror, and guess what? She's the true ruler of Oz. Oh, she's also Pumpkinhead's mom. And then she's like, okay, I'm going to send you home now. It's like, wait, I didn't say bye yet. Bye, 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 bye. And then she sends her home, and she wakes up in the middle of the forest, drenched. I guess she washed up on shore from when she drowned in the river earlier. And she's found by Toto. Yep, Toto finds her. And then Uncle Henry shows up and picks her up, and they're like, oh my, they found her. She's apparently been missing since last night.
It's a long time.
Or maybe possibly days.
Yeah.
At this point. This is like a missing persons case. Now we're at the end of a missing persons case or something. And we learn that the doctors, the asylum, yeah, pretty much, burnt down. And
everyone was fine besides...
They got everyone out besides the doctor, who ran back in for his research and I guess burned to death.
Not his research and his machines, like, bro.
Yeah, so he got burned to death, and they're dragging away Mombi, like her real life version, in a jail cell for some reason. Did she burn down the asylum?
Right, like, unless there were crimes at this place, and now
I'm assuming there was at this point.
What the f*** did we miss?
Yeah, what is this story that we missed while we were in this girl's fantasy delusions?
Right.
Something really dark and shady was happening while we were, like, distracted over here.
Yeah, like, I'm curious. We'll never know. We'll never know.
Yeah, they find Dorothy and they take her home, and she's like, everything's all happy and stuff, and she looks in the mirror and she sees Ozma, and she's like, hey, come look at Ozma. And she's like, and Ozma's like, no, you don't want them to think you're crazy again. So she's like, never mind.
Although, like, if she would have saw that would kind of prove that, Oz is this, right?
True, I guess, but then that would have been the definitive answer too. I don't think I would have liked that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Either way, if she looked in it and she saw Ozma, oh, this is all real. Or if she looked in it and all she saw was Dorothy, oh, this is all in her head.
Yeah.
So I think it's a better ending that we just don't know.
God, I want to know though, because I feel so sad not knowing. Like, this is a thing I think we should know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I know for a fact that it's real in the books.
Yes.
And if you really need a definitive answer, it's real.
Yes.
But I think this movie on its own doesn't need that answer, because it's fun to just imagine that she might be a delusional psychopath.
That's so sad. It's really sad to me for some reason. Like, damn, this kid must have experienced something in her life to make her go this route.
But, she seems happy. She runs off and she plays with Toto over the credits, and then the movie ends. Yeah. The end. So,
let's go, repeat, like, she's going to say all this shit. Parents are going to believe her. They're sent her another
actually, I think that was the point. She was like, Oz was like, don't talk about this anymore. She's like, okay, you're right. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. Yeah, kid,
keep between you and me. You know what I'm saying, kid?
Let's keep our delusions to ourselves, all right?
Yeah. Like, no, this is a bad message for mental health. Guys, talk about your mental health, guys.
But to be fair, this is the Wizard of Oz. We're supposed to take it that maybe Oz is real.
Yeah,
so
I know.
This is just us projecting our dark sense of humor onto it.
Our dark sense of 20 plus year or 30 years later had humor and social stuff.
Yeah.
Societal stuff. Yeah, that's the Return of Oz.
And that was the Return of Oz. Going through it again, I think we had the opposite effect that we normally have. I think it was actually better going through it.
See, it's better with someone else, this movie, in my opinion. This is one of those movies you need to be in an environment of people to enjoy.
Like, reviewing it with you, I really came out liking the movie more, I think.
Same.
So,
by myself, I was like, I can see it as being good, but I don't like it by myself.
I mean, I liked it by myself, but I think it was funner to discuss it.
Yeah, it's one of those movies you have to experience with people. Because it was more fun. It was more fun. Like, this is really entertaining.
Yeah.
Enjoyably talk about it while watching it. It's great. Yeah.
All right, so what did you end up at?
I don't know. I'm really conflicted. It's nothing under a 5. It's either a 5 or a 6.
I'm definitely at a 6.
See, like, I think a 5 by yourself, 6 or 7 with someone else, maybe a 7 for people, like a group of friends. I think if you're having a party, drinking around, watching this movie, it's really fun. It'd be like a great Halloween movie or like a holiday movie to watch.
I also think the score would be higher for kids.
Yes, for sure. Or if watching nostalgically, I think anyone can enjoy this.
Yeah, I mean, but like this is definitely a kids movie. So there are some images in there that's not really suitable for kids, but
no, not at all.
But I think like a 10-year-old would be fine with this movie. Really would love this movie.
Yes, like I want to bring my cousins are like, hey guys, you could sit down and watch this with me. I want to see how you guys react to this.
Like I think my niece and nephew, my brother showed his kids this movie and they were terrified of it.
But yeah, I enjoy this movie. I think I would, like on average I would give this, I don't know, either a 5 or 6. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm definitely at least a 6.
Yeah, it's not bad. It ain't great, but it's enjoyable.
Well, it's a good movie.
It is. I'll give it a 5. No, because Willow was a 5. That was boring. I don't ever see Planet on going back. I'm gonna give this a strong 5. A strong 5. Willow's a weak, wimpy 5. This is a strong 5. Is that fair? You think?
That's your score.
Yeah.
I just want to say my genre month so far has a better average than yours, though.
Oh, it does. It does. Of all the 4 movies, or 7, to whatever you want to count this one right here that we just watched is the best of all of them, followed by Willow, I guess. Legend's the worst in my opinion.
I don't think it's the worst.
I hate it. I hate Legend with a goddamn passion.
But yeah, that was Return to Oz.
Yes.
I'm done talking to them.